What's going on, guys? Figured I'd do a little short video. I'm getting ready to go hunting. Pretty excited about it. Met a guy last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. Basically a friend of the family's, and he's going to allow me to hunt on his land. He has about 190 acres up in Madison County, and we plan on going hunting Sunday. So we've been planning it for a few weeks. Hopefully the weather doesn't change, we get rained out or something crazy, but we're going to go hunting. I'm pretty excited. It'll be my first real hunt. Basically, we meet up and we got a four-wheeler in. It's about 3 miles in on four-wheeler. And there's a couple, 3 streams, creeks we have to cross to get there. Out in the middle of nowhere. It's going to be awesome. It's way up highland, so we get to see a nice view of the French Broad River while we're out there and do some hunting. So I got everything ready that I'm going to take with me. I just wanted to do a video on what I'm going to take for my hunt. So let's get to it. Let's see where to start. We're going to take a medical bag. I always take a medical bag with me. Every hike, every hunt, whatever. Never know when something's going to happen. So, always got to have a medical bag, guys. Very important, in my opinion. I'm a little spoiled, so I got some luxury items. My feet get cold as beans. I got steel-toed boots. I don't have hunting boots yet. But I got some nice Wolverine steel-toed, and I wear them everywhere I go, basically. But my feet get cold with that steel on there. That steel gets cold, and it just freezes your toes. So I got some boot warmers I'm going to put in my boots until I get some nice insulated hunting boots. That's what I do right now. And I do take hand warmers with me. It's nice just to, put them in your jacket and just hold on to them while you're sitting there, for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 hours out in the woods, and it's 30 degrees or below, almost freezing point temps. It's cold out there. It's going to be cold Sunday morning. I know this morning I sat out and it was below freezing. I had a little jar out there that had some water and it was frozen solid, and that saved my fingers and my toes, and that's the biggest thing for me. It's hard to sit out there for hours if your hands and your toes are frozen solid, right? So I don't care what anybody says. I will take warmers with me because I don't like to have frozen fingers and toes. So I did buy some more gloves today. These are a little bit warmer than the ones that I have. I hate being cold, but it is part of the deal. We'll be taking my GoPro Hero 5 Black with me to record my hunt. Got all my batteries with me here charged. I got 3 batteries. I think it's good up to like 12 hours of recording. However, my memory card in here is only 64 gigs, I think. When you're recording at high res, only offers a couple hours of recording. So I don't know, I'll do my best on recording out there. I don't want to make too much noise with the camera shutting on and off because it does beep. Maybe I can silence that. Now, I'll have to look at the options before I go out there. I'm sure there is a setting that I can turn off the beep, beep, beep every time it shuts on and off. But I will record my four-wheeler drive in, getting into the tree stand, and then I'll shut her off and turn her back on when daybreak hits and record as long as I can. Hopefully, if I get a deer, it will record that as well. So I'll have my phone on me as well, so I can do some recording on that if I have to. But I will be taking my GoPro with me, which I haven't been using lately for recording, which I need to start doing because it's a lot better for quality-wise, right? Got a nice headlamp. This thing is super bright. I don't know if I can get it to turn on. It's LED. It is bright, let me tell you. We'll need that when I'm hiking in. So we're going to meet up at a church, load up the four-wheelers. We're going to, obviously, we got to drive in by four-wheeler about 3 miles. And then it's roughly, I don't know, I'm guessing anywhere from a half a mile to a 3/4 of a mile. I'm going to hike into the tree stand. Just, so it's not as noisy. You don't want to drive into your spot that you're going to be sitting on a four-wheeler, right? So he has a little campsite set up there that we'll park our four-wheelers, and then I'll hike in on foot. And it's going to be dark. We want to be at the tree stand by 6 o'clock. 6:30, I guess. Sunrise is at 7:20, 7:25. So I'd like to be at the tree stand about an hour before sunrise. I got to hike in. So hiking in, getting up in the tree stand, and getting settled and everything else. I did have a backup battery. I'm going to get this fully charged so I can recharge my GoPro, if necessarily delete files if I have to, and record, hopefully, the kill, right? That's the whole point, right? It's buck only this right now. Gun season started September 10th. Opening day of gun is either sex, and then after the first day of gun season, it's antlered only until January 2nd. So we have a couple weeks of gun left, I think, until December 11th. And then it'll be back to bow until the 2nd of January, but it's buck only the rest of the season. So hopefully we'll get a nice buck while we're out there. We'll be taking my Bushcraft Bikimo knife. I always carry that with me. Anyway, hiking or whatnot. We'll be taking a saw with me, a hand saw, just in case, I gotta cut some limbs out from the tree stand. It's at the top of a ridge, and it's open at the top of the ridge where the campsite is at, and it gets really windy out there. And he has like 8 deer stands all over his property. We went and checked them all out last week, as I said, or the week before. I don't recall what weekend it was. We picked out a stand where I wanted to go to. He's going out and setting apples and corn down. So there was tree falling, happens with the wind up there. So take that with me in case I got to do any, cutting limbs out away from where I will be sitting. I did take a little cushion to sit on or whatnot. I will be out there for the majority of the day. I don't, I like to be comfortable. So, yeah, not all hunts you can be comfortable, but this one in particular, I can. So, take advantage of that. I'm going to take some paracord rope with me. Always have a little bit of that on me extra. And I have a nice knife set for breaking deer down, skinning, whatever I need to. I believe that it's a mossy oak set. I'm trying to do this without blocking my whole head out of here. But it has everything I need in it. I got a bone saw for, splitting the bone up in the breast when I'm doing field dressing. This is a Ridge Cabe splitter. So once I have it split, I will cut through the breastbone, and I'll use that to split the breastbone. It makes it a little bit easier to get in there and get all that guts and all that stuff out of there. This is a little paring knife. I typically use something that small when I'm skinning, and I have a gut hook here. It makes your job a lot easier when you're trying to get them open, right? And I have a paring knife as well. So it comes with a knife sharpener and a pair of gloves up here, which I usually just wear latex. A lot of guys don't even use latex, but I'm still new to hunting, so it's a little getting my hands in there without some gloves. So I probably won't use these. I'll just take a pair of latex. If you nick your hand or something, you don't want blood and stuff to get in there, right? So I always wear gloves. I don't care. People don't. People do. My preference. But I'll be taking this with me. Obviously, if I get a deer, I'll have to field dress it. and I will be possibly skinning and breaking down while I'm out there, but I don't think so. I think that if I get a deer, I'll just field dress it, load it up onto, you know, my trailer and haul it back. I will be taking coolers with me though, because if he gets a deer down, he doesn't break his own deer down, so it'd give an opportunity for me to break a deer down with him, so he doesn't have to go to, a butcher and have him break down and spend 125 bucks or whatever it costs now these days, anywhere from 125 to 200 depending on what you want them to do with it. But it'd be beneficial for him to learn how to break a deer down and know how to do it, not spend the money. He knows what he's getting, and I think it would be a fun experience to share with somebody the knowledge that I've gained by doing it myself over the last year and a half. 2 deer seasons. So I'm not an expert by any means. I've broken down 5 deer now. I was a chef by trade, so I was able to break down different animals, fish, small game animals, guys. We're not talking big game, but gave me some knowledge of how to break down muscle tissue and what the muscle groups are, and it'd be nice to be able to pass that along and share with somebody else as well. So hopefully we'll have that opportunity Sunday. Hopefully we both get a deer. If I don't get a deer and he gets a deer, I'll still break it down and show him what's going on with that. So that's pretty much what I'm taking, except for the rifle and clothes. I did buy an orange vest because there are other hunters out there, and he recommended to wear one, so I prefer not to if I didn't have to, but, better safe than sorry. You are camouflage walking through the woods, so they may not see you. They may not necessarily mistake you for a deer, but if you're still and not moving around and you're sitting in the woods, why take the chances? So I went ahead and got me an orange vest. For clothing, I have an entire camo suit here, head to toe, head mask, jacket, pants, gloves, everything. The only thing you'll see is my eyes, around my eyes. So I'll be taking, obviously, my camo with me. And the only other clothes, obviously, is just for warmth. So don't have to show you my clothes. I do want to show you the weapon that I will be using. My 308 right now. I have to put a new rod in. I have to take it to somebody and, install a new rod because the lever action isn't pulling back very well. And I'm not taking any chances of it getting jammed up and not working out there until it gets a little worked on. But I am going to be taking a 7mm mag. It is obviously kind of overkill for a deer, but it's just the only option that I have right now until I get my 308 fixed. But it is a nice rifle. I took a deer out with it last year, no problems. Just gonna be mindful of shot placement when you're using an overpowered rifle, overkill rifle. You don't want to blow out both shoulders and then not have any meat on the front end. So shot placement will be important. We did sight it in last time we went out to the property when we did some scouting and picked out deer stands and where to put the corn and apples and everything else out. So I'll be taking a 7mm mag. It's a bolt action nice rifle. I sighted it in about 100 yards. I reckon that's about the distance I will be shooting from the tree stand, 100 to 150 backs at this location, this particular location. But it's a nice rifle, man. It's not loaded. I would never mess around with a weapon that's loaded, but it is a good rifle. It has a nice scope. It is sighted in. I'm about to clean it this evening and have it ready for a Sunday hunt. So I'll be using that for my weapon this go, and here's my big old ammo. No hollow point, anything like that, not necessary. So Reckon I don't need to take too many rounds, but enough just in case, right? So I pretty much hit everything, what I'm going to take. I'm going to be leaving tomorrow after work up to Morganton, staying at a relative's overnight, and then we're meeting up early morning, Sunday morning. So probably about 4:45 in the morning, we'll be meeting up at the church. We'll load everything up on four-wheelers, four-wheel in about 3 miles, get there and hike in to the tree stands, and then we'll be there hopefully the majority of the day. So I'm excited about it, and let's just see what happens Sunday.